Hi, I'm Pav.
And I'm Neil.
And welcome to the Top 10 of Anything podcast.
Let's start the countdown.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Since 1937, with Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, Disney has entertained us, moved us, and enthralled us with decades of stories using animation. Whether it's the hand-drawn style as it is in the 90s, up to the 90s, to digital animation used more in the last couple of decades, the one thing Disney seems to know what to do is give us movies that stay with us forever. Here's our own Jiminy Cricket to give us 10 fascinating Disney facts.
Thank you very much, Pav. So here we go. Rapunzel, Princess Aurora, Princess Merida, and Mulan are the only 4 Disney princesses whose parents are still alive.
10,000 years will give you such a crick in the neck.
Oh.
The actors who voiced Mickey and Minnie Mouse were married in real life.
Good for Mr. Smee.
Princess Aurora in Sleeping Beauty is the quickest Disney princess with only quietest Disney princess with only 18 lines. Quickest.
Just dance, we kiss, we schmooze, we carry on, we go home happy. What do you say? Come on.
Tangled cost more to make than James Cameron's Avatar.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Gaston from Beauty and the Beast was the first male villain to appear in a Disney princess movie.
Hi-ho!
Scar from The Lion King appears as a rug in Hercules.
Cold never bothered me anyway.
And the roars in The Lion King were made by a man called Frank growling into a trash can.
Am I a real boy?
Pocahontas is the only Disney princess who has a tattoo. And the vultures in the Jungle Book were originally going to be voiced by the Beatles.
Bibbadebobbadeboo.
And Pinocchio's When You Wish Upon a Star was the first Disney song to win an Academy Award for Best Original Song.
We don't talk about Bruno.
There you go. Thank you very much, Neil. So here we are, Disney animated movies, not Pixar, just to let you all know before you all start writing in and calling in. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome our guest all the way over the pond. It's Nancy.
Hey, hello, Nancy.
Hello.
Now, obviously a Disney fan. I mean, I say that. I mean, this will be a terrible subject if you're not, but...
Right. I would have said no otherwise.
And obviously we'll find out with your top 10 what kind of Disney movies you like. Was it hard to do your top 10?
It did prove a little bit of a challenge, but because of the whole Disney Plus that we have available to us now, I could go back and basically see anything that I wanted to. So that was nice. And just kind of revisit things and think, well, I really loved that as a kid, but maybe I didn't love it now, or whatever it may be. So I had to kind of search my inner child for a lot of these too.
I think that's one thing with Disney movies is that it definitely it plays to your inner child. I think especially the old classic Disney movies. You're a big Disney fan, Neil?
I wouldn't say I'm the hugest Disney fan, but I do love a lot of the Disney cartoons. There's some that I give, just like, yeah, it was enjoyable. But, I don't think they're all instant classics. But for sure, a lot of them are probably the best cartoons ever made, aren't they?
Just as artwork, they were amazing.
Yeah. And like you say, when you watch certain old ones, to me, they bring back such nostalgia, such nice memories and good thoughts. And they always seem to put you in a happy place, don't they, a Disney movie? They're good for that.
And they can also scare the shit out of you.
And make you cry.
Absolutely. Yes.
I mean, we've talked before, Neil, on various podcasts about things like Snow White and how the forest scene in Snow White is genuinely horrific and scary.
Yeah, it is.
But yeah, I'm sure we will come across a lot of tears and laughter and joy. Now, the one thing I did say in the warm up, in the preamble, was that it's no Pixar. Obviously, we've got no Pixar movies. Now, I don't want to preempt your guys' top tens, but did you have things, or did you think about things like Mary Poppins and Bedknobs and Broomsticks? Because they're not animated movies, but they've got a lot of animated stuff in it.
Absolutely. And in fact, the first thing that came to my mind was Pete's Dragon.
Pete's Dragon, yeah.
Because when I was a kid, I can clearly remember, because if you remember, they could never get the name of the city right, and it was always Passamaquoddy or Passama whatever, and it just made me laugh hysterically when I was a kid. So I did think of those, but then I was like, well, there's a little human interaction, so I don't know where like this would fall, you know?
Yeah. I mean, I thought about it.
Oh, sorry, Pat.
Go on.
I was going to say I was exactly the same, Nancy. I did think of those. I thought about Bedknobs and Broomsticks, and then I thought, well, in hindsight, it really is like a live action movie with cartoon in it. It's not a cartoon per se, so I've avoided them. Like the other Disney live actions, even though The Lion King is pretty much all CGI, the remake, I still didn't include it because yeah.
That's fair enough. Before we do go on, actually, we want to say hello to some new Patreon followers. So Kendra Gross Tapia, I'm hoping I'm saying that right. I'm probably not, and I'm sure I can't roll my tongue like. So I'm sure Gross is a lot more enigmatic and a lot more.
Is it a British thing?
For me, it is. I've never been able to do that thing where you do that with your tongue. I can't do it.
Right.
So it's like when you're trying to sing along to Encanto and things like that, it doesn't work because I can't do that. That's a Latin, you know. Can you guys do it? Can you do it? Can you do the?
Can I roll my R's?
Yeah. See, I just can't do it.
I can't roll my R's like a Scotsman, though. I can do it like a Latino, but not like a
So Kendra Gross Tapia, say that with the rolling R for me, Nancy.
No.
Neil?
Yeah.
Say her name once more.
Kendra Gross Tapia.
Kendra Gross Tapia.
Yeah, there you go. See, it's got that really.
Yeah.
See, there you go. So thank you, Kendra. I can say Kendra. Okay, that's fine. And Emily James as well. Emily, our first Patreon subscriber from Australia.
Oh.
So I don't know whether she rolls her R's. Just rolls her arse. I don't know. She might do. But thank you very much, Kendra and Emily. Right.
Yes, thank you, guys.
Nancy, kick us off with your number 10 Disney animated movie.
So it's funny that you should bring up like Mary Poppins and Pete's Dragon, because my number 10 is 1996's James and the Giant Peach. And I realized that there's some human interaction, and then there's like this other kind of animation that's not necessarily cartoon, but it has to be on my list.
It
has to be on my list.
So it is still animated.
I believe so. Because as a kid, like I almost have, I'm pretty sure I have all of Roald Dahl's collection on my bookcase back here behind me. And I loved his stories when I was a kid, and I ate them up. And I was fairly convinced that I was the only person that knew who he existed, other than maybe you guys that probably grew up with him more than I did, more consciously than I did. But his ability to tell a story is just amazing and crazy, but it's so cool. And, we have the story of James, who's this orphaned boy who gets sent off to the evil ants, and they're not evil. They're just mean to him, maybe.
Yeah.
but and then he, and the magic man comes with the magic beans, and this whole adventure starts with this huge giant peach getting flown across to New York, and the stories and the misadventures that they have.
It's actually a great book to read. I really, really enjoyed it. I love reading it to my kids. Am I right in thinking that his parents were killed by a escaped rhinoceros?
A rhinoceros, yes.
That's
a
right.
runaway rhinoceros.
Yeah.
randomly on some beach. I don't know where.
Western
But-
somewhere.
There's damn right.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
a great video on YouTube. I don't know if you've seen it, Nancy, of Roald Dahl at work in his little shed. He potters off to his little shed at the bottom of his garden, and he has this board that he writes everything out like longhand on little pads and that, and it's just fascinating seeing this guy.
I'll have to look it up.
Yeah, I'll put it on the video playlist because it is fascinating.
Very
Yeah,
good.
it's fascinating to watch. It really is.
Is he still fairly a popular person there?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh yeah, he's
You know,
sold by the millions.
Yeah.
Still, generations after generations read them.
Yeah,
'Cause
and I think
I remember you mentioned Willy Wonka a few episodes ago, and that was like my first introduction was that movie, and then you go and read the book and you're like, oh, that's a little bit different.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
but he had a way of portraying these, you know, dark and horrible things in a new light, in a positive light, you know.
Yeah, I think for me it was my first introduction to horror, reading and watching, because I've always said that the Gene Wilder Willy Wonka movie is terrifying in places, apart from the Oompa Loompas, but the whole tunnel scene was in my top 10
Oh my
scariest
gosh.
moments.
Yeah.
It is terrifying.
Chickens getting slaughtered.
Yeah, it's crazy. Absolutely crazy.
Well, and I remember when Marilyn Manson was first coming out, and they were opening for Nine Inch Nails, and their whole opening scene was that bit with the rowers keep on rowing and the whole thing, and I was like, who on earth are these crazy people? You know?
It is crazy. Absolutely.
crazy.
And it's a children's story and a children's film, which is, makes it even better. Go on then, Neil, your number 10, please.
So you mentioned it before, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs.
That's my number 10.
Oh wow.
That
There
is
you
my
go.
number
Great
10.
minds and all. Yes, this is the one that fills me with real warmth when I watch it. I know it's got the scary bits, but obviously I've grown past that now. But it always takes me back. The nostalgia for this is huge. I mean, I love the animation. It makes me actually feel warm watching it. I don't know what it is about this one movie. It really does take me back to a Sunday afternoon where we sat down with the VHS video and watched it with my parents when we first got a video and things like that. Yeah. And I still love it now. I still put it on occasionally. I mean, not every year like some movies, but I still watch it. Still watch it now because it's all about the feeling it gives me. All about the feeling, this movie.
Yeah. I think also I think Dopey was the one that I fell in love with because he was like a pure comedy character.
Yeah.
And it's great. Each of the dwarfs had their own characteristics, but their name was their characteristic. Apart from Doc, I suppose.
Yeah. I love the animation of it as well. And I know people say, oh, it looks old. I don't think it does. I just think it looks
I think it's way ahead of its
classic
time. Yeah.
rather than old. Yeah.
It's actually hand drawn instead of done by computer.
Yeah.
And it's phenomenal drawings, aren't they? They really are good.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. That's both of our 10s done there then. So Nancy, your number 9, please.
The Black Cauldron.
Wow. Okay.
I haven't seen that one in such a long time.
Well, that one I did rewatch for sure. Wanted to make sure I still liked it. But I ended up having to do a little research because I'm not sure where the story came from. And it's kind of what I found is it's kind of loosely based on a Welsh mythology, which I like mythology, but I'm not very versed in Welsh mythology. So
neither are we, so don't worry about it.
Yeah, and it's got kind of like, the bad guy coming to wants to get this thing to raise the army from the dead, and then there's the band of unlikely heroes that kind of save the day. And it is kind of dark. I'll admit. But and part of my research, there's the bad guy called the Horned King. And do you know who voiced the Horned King?
Go on.
Sir John Hurt.
Wow.
which I was rather surprised about myself.
There you go.
Yeah.
So I don't think I've ever seen it. I don't think I've ever seen. It was like 1985.
Is it 85?
1985.
It's a long time ago since I've seen it. A long time ago.
Was that the one that they withdrew from selling? Didn't they? Could you not get that one on DVD or Blu-ray?
I wonder. It might be.
Why was that?
I don't know. I might be.
Oh,
I
right.
might be misremembering. Or it was just hard. It was just hard to get hold of. So is that on Disney Plus? Did you say, Nancy?
Yes.
I'm gonna have to watch it then because
Yeah.
I've never seen it, and I think it would be
Yeah.
interesting to watch it to see what it's like. Because that's one of the ones that, I mean, to be fair, two of the ones you've chosen already, Nancy, are the ones that I thought that we're never
Nobody would pick.
Yeah, we're never going to be talking about those because no one's going to talk about those ones. It's going to be all of the big hitters, which is probably what I've got on all of mine. But okay, go on then, Neil. You're number 9.
It's Hercules.
That's my number 4.
Is it? Yeah, I'm a big fan. And I'll tell you who I'm a big fan of is James Woods as Hades in this film.
Oh,
He
yeah.
is such a ham in it. He really is such a ham. But
That
I
was
love
one of
it.
the sound bites I played.
It was. And also it's a great story, isn't it? I mean, it's really well done. The only thing I will say is that why it's low on my list is I never seem to remember the songs that well from it.
See, for me, it's the music that makes that.
I'm not saying
that
it's not the
movie.
music, but I never remember them. That's why it hasn't gone as high. I'll watch it and think, yes, I love that song and all this. But it's
I
not
will
one
go
I
the
remember.
distance. That one, I think Michael Bolton actually did the recorded version of that. They
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My kids absolutely love this. All Meg doing
And
all
Danny
those songs.
DeVito is the
Danny
little-
DeVito.
Yeah, he's
Oh,
really
yeah.
good, isn't he?
Yeah.
It's a great film. Yeah, my number 4. Not in your top 10, Nancy?
No.
Ooh, okay.
What year was Hercules? As a matter of interest?
I don't know. Let me have a little quick look.
I reckon it's about 95.
It was 97.
Oh, 2 years out. But
97, yeah. James Woods. And you also had Danny DeVito, Keith David. Oh, it was the guy that played Zeus in it. Oh, God,
I can't remember.
Can't remember his name. Rip Torn.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Rip Torn was you had
The controversial Rip Torn.
Yeah, Matt Frewer was Panic, and Bobcat Goldthwait was Pain. Charlton Heston was the narrator. I mean, there you go.
Oh, crikey.
You can't get much more.
Ben-Hur himself.
Exactly. He was there. Fair play. Yeah, that's a good one. I must admit, and that was that was one of the start of like the Renaissance, wasn't it? It was with Beauty.
They had a whole wonderful
Little
period,
Mermaid.
didn't they? From the Little Mermaid right through, didn't they?
Yeah, they
the
had
90s
an
was
amazing
fantastic.
run. But yeah, James Woods was the man of the match. I think of that.
Yeah, he's so good
that
in that
movie.
role. So good.
Right, my number 9 is Peter Pan.
Ah,
Now, there's movies that I've got in my top 10 that I remember from my childhood, and the one thing about Peter Pan, I couldn't watch it for ages because of the scene when Peter takes Wendy and the children away to Neverland, and a little bit of pixie dust or whatever it is, no, Tinkerbell's dust or whatever it is, gets on Nana. And Nana is tied up outside, and so she starts to sort of float a little bit, doesn't she? And she's saying bye-bye. And it broke my heart every time I watched it. It was so sad. But that, to me, in a nutshell, is what Disney movies could do for you. 1 minute you'd be laughing, and the next minute, something would absolutely break your heart.
Yeah,
for sure.
And a great villain in Captain Hook as well. I think he was fantastic. Yeah. So that's my number.
And I always remember the songs out of that one. Not that I'm going to sing them now, but I do. Remember the
Go on,
songs.
Neil. Sing us every song from Peter Pan.
Following the lead of the lead. There you go. That'll do.
Well done. Well done. Right then, Nancy, your number 8, please.
Number 8 is The Sword in the Stone.
Oh, okay.
That nearly was in my top 10 until I reshuffled this week.
And I have to admit, I thought the Black Cauldron was the Sword in the Stone. I had it in my head that that's what that was,
Yeah.
because that's the Arthur legend,
A
isn't it? Sword in the
little
Stone.
bit different story.
A little bit different, yeah.
But I like it because we have so many variations of the King Arthur story, and it I just like the whole like concept of bringing this story to life, how they did it with you know, the animals and Merlin, and I especially love like the scene where they're at Merlin's place in the forest and he's packing up his bag, you know, and all the stuff is flying around.
That's
And you know, the bag is clearly bigger on the inside, you know.
yeah.
And so, and just the whole like I don't even know what the point to any of those lessons that Merlin was trying to teach him by turning him into an animal, but you know, it's really cute. And then just like at the end, you know, this again an unlikely hero, the orphan kid is actually, you know, the king of the Britons, you know, and so and
Yeah.
fun, just good fun.
And it's a good introduction for kids to get into the Arthurian legend anyway. It's because they're great stories, and hopefully it will inspire them to go and seek out and read some of the good books and things around.
1963. That was 1963.
Remember it well.
It's you look at the footage and that looks like classic animated Disney.
Yeah.
It's got all the classic animated style of it. That's another one I need to watch because I haven't seen that one for years. Back in the day, I used to buy the Disney videos and then Disney DVDs. And I was talking to somebody at work today, and they used to vault them, didn't they? They used to bring them out for a certain amount of time, and then they'd lock them away, never to be released again. So if you didn't, if you didn't buy Lady and the Tramp the time that it came out, you'd never be able to watch it again. Whereas obviously now every movie is out on Disney Plus. You can watch what you want. So someone like me who's a completist, I used to have, because I think it's 60 animated movies that Disney have done now, and they used to have a little number on the spine of each Blu-ray. So you think, oh my god, I want to get the next one, or make sure when they put the video back, it was in the right place, because otherwise then my OCD would start kicking in.
I quite often used to go, and Sword in the Stone was the first time we did it. When we went to the video rental store, we were always allowed to get a cheap one, which was always a Disney cartoon, because that was always £1. And then we could get a normal movie. So we'd always have to watch the Disney first. It was almost like the cinema where you had the double feature.
Yeah.
But we used to do it at home. I can remember it really well. So we were always allowed a Disney movie, or we chose a Disney movie, and then a normal film afterwards. Double bill.
Those were the days, eh?
Yeah.
Got the Neil, your number 8.
So this is quite a new one to me, and I've fallen in love with. It's 101 Dalmatians. Now I'd seen it obviously as a child, but there's been a puppy in my life over the last 4 weeks. He's been quite a handful, and I was watching 101 Dalmatians, looking after him and he fell in love with it, and so did I re-fall in love with it. And I think Cruella de Vil is genuinely one of the most terrifying villains there is. I mean, she's sick, really, isn't she? She wants to skin 100 puppies for a coat. Just Pongo and Purdy, isn't it? The names of the two.
I think you're right.
Parents, definitely Pongo.
Pongo, I remember for sure.
I'm pretty sure it's Purdy. And there's a lot of peril in that. And they did the live action, didn't they, with Glenn Close playing Cruella, and then they've recently done the Emma Stone one, which I watched, and I wasn't overly enamored with the Emma Stone Cruella movie. It bored me a little. But the cartoon, how cute is the drawings of the dogs in those puppies, the way they talk, and they're watching telly all together and hide it. It's one of the sweetest things you'll ever see. And it's Disney at their most heartwarming to me.
Right. So in a future podcast episode, then we will see 101 wagging tails behind you, will we?
Yeah.
Is that what you're going to do?
Well, no, I'll be wearing the coat.
Well, then,
yeah, there you go.
Oh,
that's why you love puppies.
No.
Can't
No,
do
of course
that.
I wouldn't. I love
Can't
dogs
do
far too much.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've reignited my love for that movie only recently. Like I say, over the last 4 or 5 weeks, it's been a real joy to sit and watch it. And I must have watched it about 4 times recently.
Okay. There you go. Neil loves puppies. That's what he says.
Yeah, I do.
My number 8 is along the same lines for Peter Pan, mainly because it just makes me cry every time it's Dumbo. The mum saying goodbye to Dumbo again. I mean, my mum won't watch Dumbo anymore because of that scene.
Yeah, I can't watch it anymore. I'm with your mum.
Breaks her heart. And the you can fly bit and the feather. I love all of that. And you've got the little, what was his name? Was it Timothy the mouse? That was his friend. I think it was Timothy the mouse. But that scene again, and just the whole thing of him being an outsider that nobody likes. And
I find it too heartbreaking.
Yeah,
I love it, but I find it too heartbreaking. And it has a very trippy moment in it, doesn't it? With all the pink.
Oh yeah, the pink elephants. Yeah.
Yeah, that's very trippy.
Yeah.
Did you see the new one?
You know what? I haven't. I've not been a massive fan of the remakes. I don't understand why.
No.
Have you watched it, Nancy? Have you?
No, I haven't. But I was just curious because
Wasn't it Tim Burton as well?
It was. Tim
Yeah.
Burton.
Yeah.
I haven't watched it simply because it'll break my heart, I think.
Yeah. and you know, Tim Burton can put a particular kind of creepy onto things. So I think if the cartoon makes us sad, then this one might be worse.
Yes.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Give you nightmares and different reasons. That might be the problem.
Right.
Yeah. Right then, Nancy, your number 7, please.
Number 7 is Robin Hood.
This was so close to my top 10 without a doubt, but yeah, it didn't quite get there. Okay, why?
Why? Because it's the traditional Robin Hood story, but they had this magical way of bringing all these animals to life, and like a lot of Disney's do have like talking animals and characters but like this is a full cast of animals, and they made Robin Hood suave and made Marion, just the oh, Robin Hood, and the rooster that plays the guitar singing the songs, and just all the characters are fantastic and fun.
And Maid Marian, I don't know if this is wrong to say that, but she's one sexy fox. She is
right.
You shouldn't say that. You shouldn't say that because there's so many things wrong with that sentence. But the way that they draw her, she's foxy. She is foxy.
Right.
But they got some great voice talent in that. Peter Ustinov, Terry Thomas, some great proper English actors. Peter Ustinov was Prince John. Terry Thomas was Sir Hissersnake. I didn't realize that was his name. Was Sir Sir Hissersnake. That's one I've not seen.
A neat thing about a lot of the older Disney movies that they did use proper, I don't want to say proper Englishmen, but people that were English or from Scotland or from America or wherever they are, they were actors, and there wasn't somebody faking an accent.
No, that's right. Yeah. Roger Miller played Alan Adale.
He sang the songs, didn't he?
He did. That's right. Yeah. Phil Harris, I think he was
Baloo.
He was Baloo, but he was also Little John. One of those people that you could recognize that voice anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
He was quite a few Disney films, I think. But that's a great one. That is a great one. Go on then, Neil. You're number 7.
The Little Mermaid. So we talked about the Renaissance. I still love this. I mean, it's quite how do I word it? It's quite a soppy one, isn't it? But it's got some great things. I think Sebastian steals the show in this one. But it's also very, very funny. It's when I think Disney first realized that it could do humor for adults combined with keeping kids entertained. Do you know what I mean? It was the one that an adult could sit and watch and really enjoy. also with the children, it took them a while to get that, because I think some of the early Disney ones were quite child-centric and over being able, we all enjoy them, but they were primarily for children, whereas Little Mermaid brought in the story that was good for you. And Ursula, isn't she a bitch? Eh?
She was a bitch,
Right?
yeah.
She was a bitch. She wanted that voice and she was going to do it. She was going to get it. But yeah, I love Sebastian in that. I think the guy, he's so funny and so good. And again, great songs.
Yeah, Under the Sea, I think was my favorite one from that.
You Got to Kiss the Girl was always a classic.
That's right. And they I think the new one's out next year. I think
the live action.
They're doing the live action one.
Who's playing Ariel?
Ariel is Halle Bailey.
Oh,
I don't know who she is.
I can tell you what she was.
Maybe
in,
an unknown, and that's quite good to see. I don't know. Wouldn't want to write her off, but hey, good luck to her. It's big shoes to fill, isn't it?
It is big shoes to fill. I mean, she's only been in 17 things. Grownish, she was in that. It doesn't seem to. I don't know. She's been in stuff. So, but fair play.
Yeah.
Javier Bardem is King Triton.
Okay.
So Melissa McCarthy is Ursula.
Oh, that's good casting. To be fair, not saying Melissa McCarthy's a bitch, but
no,
but it's good casting.
And David Diggs, who was in Hamilton and Snowpiercer TV show, he's Sebastian.
Oh, cool.
So that could be interesting.
Yeah,
I mean, look, who knows? It could be amazing, but some
of the live action haven't been overly bad. They're just not a patch on the original.
Thing is, I will say this one is going to be amazing because Lin-Manuel Miranda's doing the music, so I know for a fact now.
Okay,
the music is going to be amazing. I'm going to cry
at
at
least the soundtrack.
Yeah,
will be good.
Yeah.
So are they doing all new songs for it?
I don't know if they're doing all new songs, but I bet they'll
reinterpreted
different songs. Yeah. There'll be something different about it, won't there? Okay, my number 7 is Wreck-It Ralph. I absolutely love this movie. It's and it was one of those movies that you saw the trailer and you thought, well, that looks like it's something a little bit different. And the fact that they managed to get all these different licenses for all these different other characters to appear. The sequel when he breaks the internet was fantastic as well, because there's everything in there. But Wreck-It Ralph is one of those, again, it's the new style CGI. It's not CGI, but digital animation.
Computer, yeah.
Which just makes it fantastic. And John C. Reilly is fantastic. I'd watch anything that guy's in, whether he's doing a voice or whether he's actually acting in it. I could watch him all day because he is fantastic. So that's it. And so what are we at? We've done all up to number 7 now. And we've had one duplicate, which is pretty good. I think we're going pretty well. I thought we've had 2, haven't we?
No, we've had 2.
2. Sorry, Snow White and Hercules. Yeah. Nancy, your number 6, please.
Fantasia.
Ooh, okay. Interesting one.
I don't know, if you could classify it as a full-length feature because it's all the musical pieces, but I love the concept of putting all the classical pieces and bringing them to life with music or with the animation. 2 of my favorites were I can't think of the name of the piece now. I didn't write it down, but Tchaikovsky's piece. And I love the Sorcerer's Apprentice piece, which I am representing today.
There you go. Yes. Look at
that was always the clip they would always show, wouldn't they? Whenever they talked about the movie on telly, it was always the clip of the Sorcerer's Apprentice.
Yeah. But that, they saved it for the very last piece was the back to Bald Mountain, I think it was, with all the ghosty spirits and stuff like that, or circling around and I guess going home.
Yeah.
But that wasn't as a kid, that was a scary bit, but I'm okay with it now.
I must admit, I can't remember the last time I saw that all the way through. I think I've seen clips of it, loads of times, but all the way through. And I need to have a look at that one again.
I've read many times about Fantasia. That I mean, we should have a trip to America, Pav. And is weed legal in your state, Nancy, where you live?
Medicinal marijuana is legal, but not recreational.
Everybody says you should watch it completely stoned.
Well, Fantasia.
Yeah, they reckon it's amazing.
Should you watch it, linking up to last week's episode with David, should you watch it listening to Dark Side of the Moon? Maybe.
Maybe.
You know what? We did, oh gosh, maybe I shouldn't divulge this, but the wall on certain substances is pretty trippy.
Is it?
Imagine. Yeah, what, the movie? Are we talking the movie?
Yeah.
I can imagine. Yeah, I think
I hope this isn't a kids episode. It's on that.
I hope not, because I called Ursula a bitch.
Just say the F word a few times, Nancy, and then we'll make sure that it's not safe for kids, and then you'll be fine.
Okay.
And just to blow your mind, Neil, after last week's episode with David, I did listen to the Wish You Were Here album and Dark Side of the Moon.
And?
I listened to it all the way through.
Yeah.
And that's all I got to say about that. No, I Wish You Were Here I thought was quite nice. I mean, I thought something had gone wrong because there's only 5 songs on it or something.
But the first track's 17 minutes
long.
I
know. I thought, hang on a minute, this is going on a little bit now, this is. I think they were fine. I think I listened to them again, though, just to, but there you go, just to fill you in on what we were talking about last week. Good. There you go. Go on then, Neil, number 6.
So it's the first Disney movie to be Oscar nominated for Best Picture was Beauty and the Beast. That was the first cartoon, wasn't it? I really enjoy this one. It's such a classic tale, done so well. I mean, the voices are fantastic. I don't even think they were overly well-known voices, were they, in Beauty and the Beast? I mean, they're probably famous, but not apart from Murder, She Wrote.
Angela Lansbury played the teapot.
Yeah, and that's about.
But I can't remember who was the candlesticks.
So, the candlestick was Jerry Orbach, who was who was Baby's dad in Dirty Dancing.
Oh yeah,
and he was on Law and Order for a long time.
Law and Order. Robbie Benson was Beast. Paige O'Hara was Belle.
But I mean, there weren't major names, was it?
No.
Apart from Angela Lansbury, I suppose.
Yeah.
But yes, going back, it's classic, and it was the first time. Didn't they? First time they used computer animated to be able to do that swirling effect when they did the ballroom.
It was the ballroom stuff,
which is still visually is stunning. Still, I think absolutely brilliant. There's all the songs in that are absolutely blinding. A tale as old as time.
Indeed. I got absolutely lambasted today by a friend at work when I went through my top 10.
Wait, what's lambasted?
Lambasted, when I got absolutely roasted, if you like. So.
Okay. I'll have to add that one to my list of words to add to my vocabulary.
You were wondering why I was having a go at a little baby sheep then, didn't you? Why I was calling a lamb a bastard. I do. If I ever drive round and I see a little lamb, I go, "You bastard!" That's the first. You lamb bastard. Anyway, but she was having to go at me because Beauty and the Beast isn't in my top 10, and that was her favourite.
Are you not a fan?
I like it. I like it, but I've got 10 others that I prefer more than.
Yeah. I went to see it on stage. I took the kids when they were young. When I was married, we all went and watched it on stage, and I was absolutely mesmerised. They did a lot of on-stage trickery, so. Like at the end when Beast turns back into the prince or whatever.
Spoilers.
Well, if you haven't seen it now. But when
Don't
he turns,
tell Laura.
Yes, that's right.
He was they had all the lights going and all this special effects of sparkles going around him, and he started to spin. You couldn't see the wires how they did it, and as he span as the Beast, he came back round and was completely transformed into the prince.
Wow.
Sun's Beast. It was really impressive. Highly recommend going to see it if you ever get a chance.
Okay, we'll do that. Nancy, your number 5, please.
Okay, I'm gonna get a little more modern.
Okay.
But my number 5 is Emperor's New Groove.
Okay. Now this is one that definitely gets forgotten. I feel without a shadow of a doubt.
Right.
So why is your number 5?
Well, again, a stellar cast. David Spade and John Goodman and I forget his name. The voice actor for Kronk.
Yeah, Patrick Warburton.
Yes, thank you. And just the the bad guy again, the bad guy who wants the good guy stuff.
Yeah.
And the good guy's the arrogant little prince. And just the humor in itself. Like, he gets turned into a llama of all things. A llama. And then everybody thinks he's a llama, but they don't get it. And he forges this friendship with John Goodman's character, and they make it back, and then just all the trials and tribulations, and the Squirrel Scouts. How can you not love the Squirrel Scouts?
Yeah.
And so
Eartha Kitt as well. Eartha Kitt.
That's it.
Yeah.
And I mean, I still gonna be like randomly pull the lever. Oh, not that lever. Just if we do something dumb around the house, I'll pull the lever.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those. I can't remember the last time I actually saw it, but I remember watching a few clips of it. But this was after Monsters Inc. came out, and now that Monsters Inc. is out, John Goodman is always going to be Sully. His voice is always going to be Sully. So to hear him doing his voice for something else, it just didn't feel right. But that, obviously that was before.
Right.
It was
before.
Well,
it
just
2000.
You could watch it too, and the expressions that they used for the characters, like, that David Spade could make that face.
Yes.
Or John Goodman could make that face. And it just the ability to like put these guys into cartoon forms, and one of them's a llama.
Yeah.
And like, oh yeah, David Spade could totally pull that off,
Yeah, that's another fantastic trick of Disney, is that they can encapsulate the people who are doing the voices into the animation, and know who they are. Yeah, that's a great point. Go on then, Neil, you're number 5.
So talking of great voiceovers, Aladdin, bless him, Robin Williams.
Okay. That's actually my number 6, which I never actually revealed. So that's my number 6. Yeah.
Oh, there we go. So we can talk about it at the same time.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yes, it's a great movie. It's the first movie. It was at the time that I was managing to get to the cinema once or twice a week. And the lad that I was friends with then, and we used to go, and we went twice. We went to sit one night and then went again. I think it's the stroke of genius that it's got the action, and then you read more about it, about Aladdin himself being based on Tom Cruise. The more you can see it, like I said, the action set pieces, the music is I think some of the strongest music that Disney's ever done, and just beautiful to look at, and a great story, and hilariously funny. And I don't give a toss for the live action version.
No.
Really don't like.
I haven't seen that one yet.
No.
Don't bother.
But of course, you got Robin Williams
as
the genie who steals the show.
He does, hands down.
I mean, we have a whole like catalog in history of Robin Williams stuff, but this is like hands down his best.
Yeah.
In my opinion, one of his very best performances.
Yeah.
And he's a cartoon.
Yeah. I think it's almost that they sort of said, you go and do what you want to do, and then we'll animate it afterwards. You just go and this is what the scene is. You go and have fun, and then we'll just, because I think it took a long time for them to get him to say yes, because I don't think he wanted to do it.
Well, he'd done the not too long before, he'd done the what's it called, where he played the bat. They say it's like Avatar. What's the name of the
Fern Gully?
Yeah, he was the
was he in that, was he?
he was the voice in that, you see, and it wasn't quite the success he thought it was going to be in
Right.
that sense. But also, and I'd imagine it is on YouTube, I've never checked, but I had seen it because it was on my DVD, is there's footage of him recording
Yes.
all the voices and the
Yeah.
sound, and there's so much extra material you can hear
Yeah.
him just go. The guy was an improv master, wasn't he?
He's got to
Let's
get
be
the
honest,
best.
he really was.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
as we're recording this, we also have to remember that Iago was Gilbert Gottfried, who unfortunately passed away, I think, yesterday.
Yeah, that was, it
Which
was
is such a shame. Such a shame. I
Sad.
mean, that was he had a perfect face for using his voice to start with. Bless him. And that voice is one of those people that as soon as you know who talks, that's Gilbert Gottfried.
Yes.
You know,
Yes,
and I've
absolutely.
listened to his podcast since it started, which is I think 6-7 years ago, and he doesn't quite talk like he does as the parrot, but he still has that kind of voice. Like when he's performing and when he's talking normally, the normal voice is a little bit more subdued. But I woke up this morning and saw that he'd passed away, and it was 67, I think he was, or 65 or something. But
he wasn't that old.
And he was always
such a real shame.
He was always great on the roasts when he was.
Oh,
on there.
yeah.
He was so funny, wasn't he?
And filthy. He was absolutely filthy.
Yeah. But
well, Robin Williams wasn't a saint either.
Well, that is true.
Well, no,
that is true.
Yeah.
So like I say, as we're recording this, rest in peace, Gilbert, because that's a real shame. Okay, my number 5 is Tarzan. One of the reasons for this is when my grandson was born, all of us.
Wait, you have a grandson?
I have 5 grandchildren.
Why?
Why? Well, let me tell you, when a man loves a woman, Nancy.
It's a shame they've never done a Disney film on it.
Well, I just listened to the Star Wars cast, and you didn't say you were that old.
Oh, yes, I am that old. But we used to sing "You'll Be in My Heart" to our grandson, like my daughters would, or I would, or whatever. And it was it was just that one link to that particular song, and he loved it. He absolutely loved it. I don't think he likes it so much now. He's grown up a little bit, but he's into cars and stuff like that. But it's also Brian Blessed. See, now Brian Blessed, I am an absolute fan of Brian Blessed, typical British. And he is fantastic in that. He is absolutely fantastic. He is typical Brian Blessed in Tarzan, and I absolutely love that movie.
Is it Demi Moore plays Jane? Isn't it?
No, it's God.
She was Notre Dame, wasn't she?
Yeah, she was Notre Dame. It's
Minnie Driver.
Minnie Driver. That's right.
Yeah.
That's a great one. Okay. Where are we now? We're at your number 4 then, please, Nancy.
Well, along the lines of Tarzan, number 4 is The Jungle Book.
Okay, a real classic.
Oh, that's my number 3.
Okay.
It does a great service to the story of Mowgli, the boy who was raised by the wolves, and just the big bad Shere Khan is coming back to their end of the forest, and they're trying to convince him to go back to the
humans, isn't it? Yeah.
The humans, thank you.
That's okay.
The humans. Get back to the humans, and he's like, no, I can stay in the jungle, and all these he tries to be the monkey, he tries to be the elephants and the whole 9 yards, and I think one of the tearful moments is, I want to say it's close to the end, or maybe it is the end, where Baloo and Mowgli are kind of walking down together into the sunset, or through to the village.
Yeah, it's a great one.
And again, the music that is probably hit for hit, probably has the most hits in that cartoon, doesn't it?
I dug up this morning.
Oh wow.
It's not in perfect condition, but
no, that's awesome.
David might get jealous.
Yeah. And Baloo was
But,
the star of the show to me.
Yeah.
He really was.
Well, yeah.
He taught me how to scratch my back. Because that's how I scratch my back now. And I've done it since I was at school. People always laughed. And I thought, there's got to be some logic to that. And I tried it and it works brilliantly.
And it works.
Yeah.
So did you ever go at eating ants? Because he has a go at
I've
doing
always
that.
done that. That's
Yeah,
just
he just
natural.
like, yeah.
That's a UK delicacy.
Yeah.
Oh.
Chocolate ant.
Don't
Clearly
listen to
not a
him,
US
Nancy. Don't listen to him. He's feeding you crap there. He's feeding you crap. Although he did make it look nice with the prickly pears and everything, didn't he?
He
And
did,
it
yeah.
makes it a nice little cocktail there. But wasn't there a British... Oh, George Sanders played Shere Khan. I've seen him in something else as well. Again, with that typical British...
Yeah, villain.
Oh my God, he's been in All About Eve, Rebecca, Picture of Dorian Gray.
Oh, the old classic actor.
Yeah, a lot of big stuff. Nice one. Go on then, Neil. You're number 4.
So it's The Lion King, but obviously the cartoon version.
Okay, that's my number 3.
Yeah. Now this I still can't watch all the way through without crying. It makes me shed a tear every time at Mufasa's death.
Spoilers.
Yeah. Oh man, it's just a gut wrench, isn't it? Because they've made Simba so damn bloody cute as a child, with that voice and everything. You feel for him. But again, Elton John and Tim Rice, a great soundtrack, didn't they? I mean, absolutely great soundtrack.
Yeah.
But although in the live action, didn't Beyonce butcher Can You Feel the Love? I think she did.
I've only watched it once and I can't remember. I erased everything out of...
Yeah.
There isn't a bad song in The Lion King.
No.
Well, and there's like certain people that you can't like cover. Like you can't cover Elton John. There's only one Elton John. And no matter how you put it, you can't cover it. So, don't mess with something that's good.
Yeah. I think but then when you watch it like the theatre show, it works so well when it's like that because it's live and you've got proper theatrical people singing it. But
you immerse yourself in the cast. You don't look at them as people, do you? It's weird how you suddenly see them for what they're wearing on their heads, whether they be the lion or the whatever, the bird or whatever. Yeah. And it's Disney at their greatest, where they're introducing kids to death, really. They do it so well. I mean, when they did it with Bambi and things like that, they introduced children to this morality so well.
Yeah.
So well.
Yeah. I mean, it's not an original story, is it? It's a story that's been told many, many times.
Yeah.
But it's got one of the greatest villains. Jeremy Irons is fantastic as Scar.
Rowan Atkinson is really funny.
And then Timon and Pumbaa are just fantastic themselves. So yeah.
Did you see what was that? The Lion King 1.5 or whatever that they put out?
Oh, they did a couple of like
it was kind of like the same story, but from like Pumbaa and Timon's perspective.
Right. Yes.
I've never seen that.
I think that was that was number 3, I think, wasn't it? I think something
or was
like
it
that.
3?
I think
Maybe.
It was, yeah.
But it's like because like the whole scene where they're lifting up the lion up for the crowd to see, like announcing him, and Pumbaa and Timon are down in the crowd and they're like, "Hey, we can't sing."
Yes, right. Yes. Yes, it's a bit like a Rashomon thing, isn't it? Where they're looking at everything from there. Well, what's the Shakespeare one? Rosencrantz and Guildenstern or something.
Yeah.
And they're looking at it from there. Yeah, that's really good. It's a really good sequel. It was a straight to DVD one, but
I believe so.
I'm sure
is it
that's
on Disney Plus?
It must be on Disney Plus. I would have thought.
I don't know.
I will
I
have
don't
a
see
look
why
later.
not.
Because I'd like to see that. I didn't like the second one they did. Was it Simba's Pride or whatever it's called? Simba's
No, but it was the one after that. Yeah.
Okay.
It is really good. Okay, so my number 4 was Hercules. So Nancy, your number 3, please.
My number 3 is The Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh.
Oh, wow. Okay. And why? Why is that so high?
Because he's cute.
He is cute.
I I think Winnie the Pooh's always been one of my favorite Disney characters. I mean, the whole gang is cute and stuff, but like just some of the stories that A.A. Milne wrote about Winnie the Pooh are just classic, and they're still like the moral of the story, and oh, he's stuck in this hole, so how do we get him out? And thinking together, and an uptight rabbit and a crazy tiger, and it's just and the whole concept of Christopher Robin coming to basically living in his imagination, and stuff, and how Christopher and Pooh Bear have this relationship that is like your favorite stuffed toy when you're a kid, or whatever it may be, and just this relationship that you have, and then you grow older and things change, and then you get a movie with Ewan McGregor in it, so hey.
Which I thought was underrated myself. I thought it was really sweet, Christopher Robin.
Yeah.
I really did. I thought it was really charming and sweet. But and also, if you ever come to England, Nancy, I believe, I mean, things have changed obviously with what's been going on over the last couple of years, but you can go and see this bridge where they A.A. Milne actually played Pooh Sticks with his grandchildren.
So cool.
Yeah, and you can do the tour and everything. I think the inspiration for 4 Acre Wood, or it might even be called 4 Acre Wood for all I know, you can walk around and things like that.
Is that in London?
I'm not sure. No, it's not in London. It's I think it's Kent, but I may be wrong. If only there was some way of looking it up.
Yeah, if only there was some kind of
but yes, you could go and play
I'll Google it later.
Play Pooh Sticks on the actual Winnie the Pooh bridge.
Yeah. I have to say, if there's one Disney character that I would like level that I'm at, would be Winnie the Pooh. If you can just walk around with just a jumper on, looking for honey all day, and that's all you did, I mean, that's when you're winning at life, I think.
You see, I'd be
That
ill
would be great.
because I would lose my tail.
Would you?
Me all over. Yeah.
Would you be sad all the time though?
Oh, I quite often am, Nancy.
Quite often. Unless he's killing Dalmatian puppies, then obviously he's really happy.
Yeah. I just drown them. It's fine.
Okay, well, let's
no,
move
I'm
on,
joking. I'm joking.
So Neil, your number 3 was Jungle Book.
Yep.
And my number 3 was The Lion King. So back to you, Nancy, for your number 2.
Number 2, Big Hero 6.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, it's a good movie.
That is a really good movie.
Yeah, and taken from a Marvel, I don't know if it was like a comic run or what do you call it when there's one story in a book? Like just one
like a one
story
shot
to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, or whatever it may be called. That thing.
Yeah.
About and the about the boy whose brother, I can't remember how his brother died, but he gets this companion, I think it's like a medical doctor robot aid thing, and they find out that the bad guys stole the technology from the brother, and so they're trying to get it back, and just all the misadventures that these kids have, and again, a group of unlikely heroes that like just come and save the day, and I think some of the best some really gut-wrenching scenes and some real reality to it of life,
Yeah. Baymax, isn't it? I think it's the name of
Baymax.
It is,
Baymax, that's right. Some of the animation in this is absolutely phenomenal. It is beautiful to look at. See, TJ Miller is one of the voices, and I'm not a massive fan of TJ Miller. He was in Cloverfield and Deadpool. He was like the wisecracking guy. I just can't get it. But another great cameo from Stan Lee.
Absolutely,
in that one, isn't there? Which is fantastic.
Yeah. That was like just not to sidetrack, but here we go. That was a great thing about all the Marvel stuff was Stan Lee doing all those cameos and stuff.
Absolutely. It'd be one thing that you'd be waiting for. You'd be waiting for Stan Lee, just wondering how are they gonna jam him in this time. What's he gonna do?
Right. Right.
Fantastic stuff. Absolutely, I completely agree. Go on then, Neil. You're number 2.
So this is Nightmare Before Christmas. Tom Selleck, Henry Selick and Tim Burton together. I nearly said Tom Selleck. Yeah, Henry Selick and Tim Burton together. I love this movie. I think that the touch of Christmasness with Gothic works so well. I think every character in it is so meticulously created. The stop motion animation. I was watching the the movies that made us. Have you ever seen that?
Yes.
And the how they did it and the length of time it took them to do it. God only knows where they found that patience, because they could give me some of that.
Yeah.
But great story. Danny Elfman, great voice, great songs, and just a wonder. And it's staple in my house every Christmas. And Halloween, to have an excuse to watch it twice.
Yeah, I'm not a fan.
Really?
I know. I'm gonna.
You're fired.
Wow.
I don't know what it is. I mean, I love Christmas movies. I think I love Tim Burton, and I love stop motion animation. I love all that stuff, and for some reason, it doesn't hit me in the feels where I know it should do.
Wow,
it's really, really strange.
That really surprised me.
Yeah.
Do you like any of his others, like The Corpse Bride? I mean, I'm a big fan of that.
Not really watched any of them. I've not really watched any.
Right.
So I put them along.
Coraline.
Yeah, I mean, I've watched Coraline. I thought that was okay. But I don't know what it is. Why it doesn't hit me.
Maybe
it should.
Gothic.
No, I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe it's because I like things more sort of lighter and brighter and sunshine and candy canes and stuff like that. Maybe.
No,
I don't know.
enough.
Or maybe it's because he's trying to destroy Christmas and I love Christmas.
Yeah, but it's all about redemption, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
And going back to Marilyn Manson, Nancy, have you heard Marilyn Manson's Nightmare Before Christmas song? Where all the rockers, that's great.
Yeah, it's all my CDs are somewhere, but it's like a bunch of covers.
Yeah.
And there are some good songs that they covered. I'm not like against covers, but you just can't mess them up.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Okay. So my number 2, talking of sunshine and sand and beautiful landscapes, my number 2 is Moana. Now, it took me a while to watch Moana because I didn't know anything about it.
Confession, I still haven't seen it.
Have you still not seen it?
Neither have I.
Have you not?
Neither have I.
First time I watched it, I absolutely fell in love with it. I couldn't stop crying. I knew that it was Lin-Manuel Miranda that did the music. It is an absolute delight. It is an absolute beautiful film to watch, a beautiful film to listen to. The music and the songs are fantastic. And I don't know why over the last sort of few Disney films that came out, even the Pixar films, I just didn't watch them. I used to devour them when they came out. But for some reason, I don't know whether it's because of COVID and not going to the cinema and them just coming out on the TV, that I just thought, I can watch it whenever I want. I'll watch it when I can. I did the same thing with Coco and Soul and all of the Pixar movies that you then watch and you go, oh my God, that's fantastic. Moana was the same. I just didn't watch it for ages. And then I started watching it and I never stopped. I got the soundtrack, kept listening to the soundtrack. I would thoroughly recommend it. It's very sunshiny.
One that I must watch.
Yeah, it's very sunshiny. The Rock is fantastic as Maui. It's just really good, and the songs again are fantastic. There's a song by Jermaine Clement, it was, Flight of the Conchords. Fantastic song. He sounds very David Bowie in the song. Shiny is the name of the song. It's fantastic. Right, before we announce our number ones, Nancy, if you want to give us a countdown from 10 to 2, please.
Okay, so I have 10 is James and the Giant Peach, 9 Black Cauldron, 8 Sword in the Stone, 7 was Robin Hood. Yes, 7 was Robin Hood, 6 Fantasia, 5 Emperor's New Groove, 4 The Jungle Book, 3 The Misadventures of Winnie the Pooh, and 2, Big Hero 6.
Wonderful. Neil, your 10 to 2, please.
Absolutely. So at number 10, I had Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Number 9, Hercules, Hercules, Hercules. Number 8, 101 Dalmatians. Number 7, Little Mermaid. Number 6, Beauty and the Beast. Number 5, Aladdin. Number 4, The Lion King. Number 3, The Jungle Book. Number 2, A Nightmare Before Christmas.
Lovely. And mine is number 10, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. 9, Peter Pan. 8 was Dumbo. 7, Wreck-It Ralph. 6, Aladdin. 5 was Tarzan. 4, Hercules. 3, The Lion King. And 2, Moana. So, Nancy, what is your number 1 Disney animated movie?
The Nightmare Before Christmas.
Whoa! There you go. Oh, don't I feel stupid now for all the stuff I said?
Yeah. I agree with all the things that Neil said as well. I love the whole concept of the animation style, the story, the music, everything. Danny Elfman, hello. It's always a win when Danny is doing something musical. And it's just a great all around favorite. It's like that movie came out in what, like the 90s, like the mid 90s, I want to say. And I was like really big into like my goth industrial stage of life. So it was like the perfect goth anthem for all of Southern California and the Hollywood night scene, you know?
Yeah.
You know, so it's just phenomenal all around, and really like groundbreaking for the kind of movie that it was or is, you know.
Do you think that I would enjoy it more if I watched it not as a Christmas movie?
Yeah,
I think if I just watched it as if I went and watched it this weekend rather than you know, whether it would actually be better for me.
Try it.
Might be.
Yeah, I will do.
Or
that.
maybe if there's any of the grandkids that won't get scared by, you know, Jack, then maybe one of they would watch it. I just watched it a couple months ago with my 10-year-old, and he was like, "Oh, I love it, it's great, you know." So it's like, you know, he liked it.
I'll give it a try.
You know?
I'll give it a try.
Or wear a very long leather coat and some massive boots and put some eyeliner on.
I don't think that's going to work. I don't think that's going to work. No. It's just that I feel like I've done you a disservice there, Nancy. I've just slagged it off, and you were sat there knowing that it was your number 1.
I'll unfriend you later.
Okay, thank you,
Nancy. We're the majority, aren't we? We're the majority.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. So we win, anyways.
Okay, yes. As long as you win, Nancy, that's all I care about. Tom and Neil, what's your number 1?
This might surprise a lot of people, but if you know me, it shouldn't. Is Robin Hood. It's my favorite Disney movie. I love the songs, Roger Miller's songs. It's even on my playlist that is on my phone, a few of the tracks. I love the animation. I love the voices. I love the fact that Disney captured everything quintessentially British, but still made it American, which is really odd. The story, like you say, is a classic story, and it's very well told. You know, it's really well told. And I don't think it skips a beat. I think it's an absolutely perfect cartoon. I really do. I prefer it to the Jungle Book. I prefer it to the Lion King, hence my number 1. And it's probably my most watched Disney animation, right from a young age. I had it on VHS right through. So I love it to pieces.
Fair enough. Yeah.
And I think if that's your first introduction to Robin Hood, like if you never heard of even an inkling of the story, that's the perfect one.
Yeah, I think you're right.
You know,
and he's a lot better than Kevin Costner.
You can't say anything like that, but I feel like I'm totally on the other side of the argument tonight.
No, he is. It's better to me. He's a better Robin Hood than Kevin Costner.
Yeah.
Okay.
Although Carrie Elwes did a good job too.
Oh, and Men in Tights. Yes. And let's not forget, what's his name? Patrick Bergin.
Patrick Bergin.
Yeah, he did a Robin Hood, didn't he, with Uma Thurman in it?
He did.
Did Errol Flynn do Robin Hood?
Errol
He
Flynn
certainly
did.
Very famous sword.
Yeah, and of course Russell Crowe did Robin Hood as well.
Which is the most boring film.
That is one of the most boring
ever
films.
seen.
Yeah, indeed. Right, my number one is, now I don't know whether this is, what do they call it, recency bias. It's Encanto. Encanto is my number one. There is nothing that you can say is wrong with that movie. Every single song is fantastic. It breaks the mold a little bit for Disney films, as in there isn't a baddie as such. Spoilers. And there also isn't the cute little animal that they can then sell in the Disney shop, sidekick. That, you know, the house is the sidekick, if you want, is the comic relief, if you like. Have you seen it, Neil?
Yes, I have seen it only once. It's
right.
I enjoyed it. I need to watch it again for it to grow on.
Nancy, have you seen it?
No, I haven't.
You haven't seen it. I mean, my top two are both Lin-Manuel Miranda. So you know, it doesn't matter if he farts in a box. I'm going to say it's amazing music. I mean, I don't care.
Would you buy it if he sold it in a box?
I would. I absolutely would. Yeah. If he did 15 of them and put them on an album, I would buy the album. Lin-Manuel Miranda's farts
in a box.
Only on Apple Music.
You never know, Pav. You never know.
You never know. There's something you know, when you get any kind of artist and you're in the groove, you're in that person's groove. I'm definitely that with Lin-Manuel Miranda. It doesn't matter what he's done. I've said it so many times on various podcasts of this top 10 that we've done. But that movie, it took me ages to watch it. I was listening to the soundtrack before I watched the film. And again, my grandkids will sit. That's the one film we can put on that the two youngest grandkids will sit and not move a muscle. They will sit and watch the whole movie. And then when I watched the movie in the context of the songs, it just made me cry on certain. There's a couple of songs that breaks your heart. I mean, I know the whole world has gone Encanto and
we don't talk about Bruno.
All of that stuff.
That song though has been overplayed on the radio.
I mean, it has.
Yeah.
But the one thing which is a perfect thing for a song, when I go up and have my 3 o'clock in the morning wee, because I have that aged bladder that I have to. Sorry, Nancy, a bit too much.
No,
too much. But
I'm not even gonna say it.
There will be one of the songs from Encanto playing in my head when I get up and go for my wee. It's crazy. Yeah. It could be anything, but it's those earworms that get into your head, and it's the, you know,
we don't talk about Bruno.
Boom, and it just gets you every time. Every time. It's crazy, but there you go. And again, I've said this again so many times on our episodes. Not as many duplicates as I thought we were going to get. Especially you, Nancy. You picked some real ones that I really didn't think anybody was going to.
And those were like the first ones that kind of like, well, that obviously like came to mind when you first suggested it. But like just in going through it, and I'll be honest, there's like a handful, maybe like 10 of the newer films that have come out in the past 10 years or so that I haven't seen.
Yeah.
I have boys, so we don't watch girl stuff.
Right.
If I have to watch girl stuff, I watch it by myself, which
it's
fine too. But so, you know, there's a different like playing field on there, but that's what I like.
Yeah. And that's what it's all about. Right, we've got the most honorable mentions we've ever had sent through for an episode.
Right, let's put our feet up and relax.
So we're going to get through these, see if there's some of these movies that you might have forgotten about. But Lisa Buchanan says Dumbo has to be my favorite. The scene where his mother cradles him in her trunk while Baby Mine plays, crying as I write this, she said, bless her. Parisa Rosen said Emperor's New Groove, wholly underrated film. Hunchback as well.
Very.
That soundtrack is, and then a fire emoji. So I'm assuming that means hot. Is that what the kids are saying?
It's on fire.
It's on fire. That's right.
Yeah.
Kelly Jo Lovesey says Lion King or Basil the Great Mouse Detective.
Oh, crikey.
Oh, yeah. That one's
Kim,
a sweet one.
Kim Cornell, the same with you, Neil. 101 Dalmatians. Kim Mendes says Beauty and the Beast. Jen Berg. Hi, Jen. Hope you're feeling well. Says, well, assuming you separate the history of Disney animated films between classic, pre-Little Mermaid in 1989, and modern periods, I would say that Sleeping Beauty is my favorite classic, while Tangled is my favorite modern. Not that I've given too much thought on this matter, and no, of course, I don't have a top 10 hottest Disney princes ready to go, but if I did, of course, it would be Prince Philip. He killed a dragon. Don't come after me, Prince Eric Stans. I don't get that bit. Are you happy now, Carl Pavo? Yes, I'll see myself out. Thank you, Jen. Bless your heart. Michelle Moyer Edwards said Tangled, which was one of the newer ones. Brianne Archer said, I used to adore Beauty and the Beast, but now I love Moana, no matter how many times I've seen it. Larry Sala said, I love a good original like the Aristocats, Dumbo, and Jungle Book, but I'm an absolute sucker for Meet the Robinsons. Just love that movie, and the Rob Thomas song Little Wonders just drives it home. So there you go. Sarah Faye Rotter says, Meet the Robinsons is my favorite. When Little Wonders starts, it gets me every time. Well, now, Shanda Tabor said, I grew up during the Disney Renaissance, so The Little Mermaid was my favorite, followed closely by Aladdin, The Lion King, and Beauty and the Beast. I mean, that was the run that they had, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was a crazy run.
Yeah.
Christine Hess Schussman, I hope I'm saying that right. I'm not. I'm terribly sorry. Beauty and the Beast is the best, and I'll fight anyone that says otherwise. Okay, I won't fight them, but I will write a strongly worded letter. There you go. We know where that's coming from. Nikki Dennis says, classic Robin Hood is my favorite, and it holds up over the years. My kids love it too. Newer, Aladdin, most recent, Moana, and best music and just an epic adventure, and I love the grandma. David Ye says, I've been meaning to tally up all of these, but it's hard for me to mix hand-drawn with CG, but here goes in no real particular order. So he has Beauty and the Beast, Hunchback of Notre Dame, The Lion King, Aladdin, Tangled, Pinocchio, Sleeping Beauty, Peter Pan, Dumbo, and Fantasia. Miss Del Vincenzo, Vincenzio. I'm terribly sorry with these names. We've got some fantastic names this week, and I'm butchering them all. The Little Mermaid at the end when Ariel says goodbye to her dad, that gets me every time. Maybe I have dad issues. Bless her. Erin Peterson says Dumbo, mother's baby mine. I'm not crying, you're crying. Nikki Baird, who I had the conversation with today, that she didn't like the fact I didn't have Beauty and the Beast in my top 10. She says Beauty and the Beast, Lion King, Moana, Princess and the Frog, which was one we never
I forgot about that.
Is that 101 Dalmatians, Cinderella, Bambi, Lady and the Tramp, Jungle Book, and Fox and Hounds. Fox and the Hound.
Ooh, Fox and Hound was one of my is an honorable mention for me. I do love that one.
Kurt Russell, wasn't it?
It was, so yeah.
Kurt Russell and a very young Corey Feldman.
Wow, it was Corey Feldman as well.
And Tim Burton worked on that as well, famously. When he worked at Disney.
Did he really?
Yeah.
There you go. Sarah Watkins said The Lion King. Sue James, Bambi, and The Lion King. Now, I've got to get this right. I'll say the last bit of this little message. She says, if you give me a shout out, here's a hint. My first name rhymes with sorry. It's Norwegian. So it's Corey Ogilvy. But it's spelled Kari. Yeah. So Corey Ogilvy says, The Hunchback of Notre Dame, darker, more serious material, gorgeous music, admirable characters, except for Frollo, of course. Just get rid of the gargoyles. Fun fact, I was a Disney character at Walt Disney World 1996 to 2001. Pluto Hike characters and Belle. But I always wanted to be Esmeralda. I started the year Hunchback came out, so when they auditioned for the prototype character at the time, yes, I had a tan at the time back then. I made it to the final round, but the end result was political and went to someone else. Esmeralda is still easily my favorite Disney heroine, though. And the fittest. I mean, I think, like you say, Demi Moore, she was probably based on Demi Moore, but I know my own movie takes second place, and I also still love Frozen. I don't have human kids, so I'm not burnt out. Not only was the movie wonderful in all ways, but I also lived seeing my Norwegian heritage finally represented in Disney animation. Thank you, Corey.
Yes, thank you. Just going back to Frozen, I enjoyed the first one, and I sat down to watch the second one. I really didn't enjoy it.
I haven't even watched the second one. I have to admit.
There you are.
No.
Neil's
I think I've
fuzzy.
only seen part of it.
Yeah.
Just didn't have the magic of the first one to me.
Yeah. Okay, last couple. Terry
Yeah.
Coombs said, I've got to say, I'm really liking the multicultural ones that Disney have been doing lately that aren't the traditional princess stories. Raya and the Last Dragon, Encanto, Moana, and I also have loved The Lion King and Frozen 2.
Oh.
And finally, Ruthie Salonga. What a lovely name that is. Ruthie Salonga. Aladdin, Beauty and the Beast, and Little Mermaid, Moana, Raya, and Coco. So thank you very much, everybody. Like I say, that's the most we've had for honorable mentions. That could have also been like a mini episode just to that could have. Yeah, so that's it, ladies and
not
gentlemen.
Yay.
Phew.
We got one little bit to do.
Oh, yes, we have got one little bit to do.
Did I win a prize?
Yes, you win a night to watch Disney Plus.
Yes. Oh, I must. Did you get your badge, Nancy? I just want to make sure that you got it because I don't want to.
I did.
Yay!
Here.
There it
And now,
is.
now I have your address too.
No, that's fine.
No,
That's fine.
You can come and stay, Nancy.
Yeah,
come and stay.
Can I?
Yeah.
Hey, there it is.
How far away is London? I got a lot of friends in London too.
On the train, about an hour and 10 minutes.
Yeah, it's only about
Perfect.
70, 80 miles away. Yeah, we can go. We'll go knock on Bean's door.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's right. Well, aside from Bean, I have other friends there too.
Oh, that's good. That's good. But then,
Yeah.
as Bean says in his podcast, he's got a room that you can go and stay in if you want to. That's fine.
Absolutely. I'll just call them up when I just knock.
Just knock. Yeah, we'll just knock.
Yeah, that's the best way.
Right then, Neil, do you want to tell everybody how they can get in touch with us?
Absolutely. So, are you listening? Let me fly through this deep breath. You can find us on all the social medias at Top 10 Pods. Come and give us a click and a like, a click altogether, a click and a like and a follow. You can email us at toptenpods@hotmail.com, where you can give us ideas for a top 10 if you have one. Do please come and support the podcast at patreon.com/top10pods, where you can get rewards such as early episodes. You could even be a guest like our wonderful Nancy here. Check it out. All our links via the LINKTREE. You can find the link in the show notes, and please do come and subscribe and leave us a rating and review wherever you may get your podcast from. Boom.
Wonderful. And remember, on the Patreon, we also now have the new video playlists that will go along with the episodes. I will put the Roald Dahl a little bit in there, and then we'll put trailers and that for all of the movies and some other bits and pieces. Nancy, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank
That was
you.
so
Thank
much
you.
fun. You'll have to come and join us.
Fun.
Good.
Absolutely.
Excellent. Wonderful. And you've also, as you can see on that way, you're now a pin on my Patreon. Look, so there you go.
Awesome.
So again, another wonderful little reward for anybody that wants to come and join our Patreon. You can be a pin on my map.
Pin on the map.
Oh dear. So there we go. Another episode done. Another top 10 sorted out. So thank you once again, Neil.
Thank you very much, Nancy. Thank you very much, Pav.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much, Nancy. Thank you very much, everybody, for listening. Let's go start the countdown.
10, 9.